54 degrees downtown. I win this morning, which is rather unusual for me. Usually Barbara wins, but I'm going to take this one. I'm going to be honest. It is Monday, October the 11th, and you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM. Absolutely elated. Really, really am, because today we're catching up with a band that seems to be making a huge mark here at Galaxy. It really, really does. But first of all...
Galaxy 107 FM.
That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today I am literally elated to catch up with a band that have been playing for a little while now, I've got to be honest with you, and as a breakfast co-host, we've noticed that this band is getting requested more and more and more all the time. So for those of you that are joining us on Facebook Live right now, nice to have you guys along again, it really, really is. Today we're going over, well, formerly from Saskatchewan. Yeah, now they're in the Okinagans over there in British Columbia, is the band Moving Lines. Check this out. So how are you feeling, guys? You okay?
Awesome, yeah.
Nice.
While we're playing the song, too, I'm going to fiddle around and try to get rid of the back talk that I'm hearing of ourselves, see if I can do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we can hear you now, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, I don't have to shout. It's a little delayed if I have to shout.
Yeah, and I can hear myself, so I'm going to see if I can cancel that out somehow. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we're feeling good.
Very, very cool. Love it. And by the way, welcome to Galaxy. Thanks for coming along.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're so excited.
Well, I am too, to be very honest with you. I'm very humbled. And when we play your song Inside Your Head, I'll give you the stats for that one, because believe me, you will be astounded how many people have been requesting that song.
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
Now,
Wow, that's awesome.
I've got to be honest with you guys, this is not going to be the 12 questions that pretty much every radio station. So, and Barbara, I caught her saying this morning to give me a bit of stick, so please do, because I find Canadians are too bloody polite anyway.
What do we say? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry for being polite.
And if you wish, I'll throw in a boot in there for you guys, just in case you're feeling a little homesick.
A little oot in a boot.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Michael.
Believe me, I was talking to one Canadian one day, and he went, a boot. No, I thought we'd started talking about footwear.
Yes, it was funny.
I don't. I'd never heard the term until this person said it to me, and I went, what are you talking about? What size boots do you take? And he goes, I'm talking about boot things. Oh!
That accent gets a little stronger as you move farther east. They really turn up that accent, and it really sounds like a boot there.
Yeah.
That's because there's a lot of Irish and Scottish on that side of the country. Period.
Yeah, the newfies that have a really thick.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to introduce these guys to Tim.
Yeah, I've invited Tim. If
Yeah,
you're there, Tim, I know
literally.
Michael's there. But
Have
someone
you
I
ever
don't
heard of a
know.
band called The Mighty One?
No. Oh yeah, that's Tim Stein. Yeah.
Tim Stein, do you know Tim?
Yeah, we played a show out at Rock Creek. It was Boogie Bash, big biker festival, and they were on for us to make Easy Top tribute. So we met them there.
Tim's a very close friend of ours. He really is.
Cool. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
You know everybody.
Yeah.
Almost. But I tell you what.
Do you know Angus?
And who?
Angus.
Angus. Yeah, I know Angus. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Michael King is watching. Nice to have you on board, Dan Washburn. I want to talk to you, my friend. Please get in touch with Barbara. We want to be able to catch up sometime really soon, okay, Dan? Really, really want to talk to you. But in the meantime, today, and for everybody watching, welcome along. Nice to have everybody here, because believe me, if you're going to watch it a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do. Sub, thumb, bell. Yeah, bell notifications for when we have important people, much like moving lines here at Galaxy. And it's such a pleasure to have them from the Okinawans over there in British Columbia. Welcome to Galaxy, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Hello.
It is an
Fun to
absolute,
meet you.
it is an absolute pleasure, and believe me, I'm a big fan of your work. As I was saying, I've been an engineer for a little while now. I think I've done it once or twice, and well, it's not often that I actually find a band that I absolutely enjoy. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. I don't listen to music as a fan would listen to it. I listen to it as an engineer, as a DJ would listen to it, and well, quite frankly, I can't fault your work.
Oh, thank you.
That's amazing.
Well, I can't. Now, tell me a little bit about this. Obviously, you're in the studio right now, so now do you produce your own music? Do you master your own music, or do you record the demos and then send that out?
No, everything's done in-house here. Usually start with an idea that I've had probably for a while, or just recorded on my phone. I'll bring it into the studio here and then lay down some tracks, get some ideas going, and yeah, we do the whole thing here, mastering as well. I gave it a shot at that, and it worked.
Well, it did.
And he plays all this.
I play all the instruments too, so I play drums, play guitar, bass, whatever needs to be done.
And he cooks.
And what, all at once?
All at once.
Yeah.
Multi-talented, literally.
Oh my.
Now, let's give the skinny on this. Moving Lines are an 80s influenced rock band from the beautiful Okinawans in British Columbia. Steve Lynch is watching too, by the way, guys. We were talking about him just moments ago. Steve, welcome along. It really is nice to have you on board, my friend. These are big fans of yours too, by the way. We must hook you guys up, okay? Good on you, Steve. Believe me, he really is watching. A little later on, after we do the interview, we'll do a couple of crazy photos and stuff. We'll give you everything we do today, guys. We really, really will. Give you photos for your wallpapers on your phones. You know, Kiwis. Hey, Steve, not healthy. Right. We'll also put this whole thing not only on YouTube in the raw version, but we will make it into a movie as well. You can have that. And then let's put the cherry on top, hey Steve? Yeah, we're making it into a cartoon as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, believe me.
I always wanted to be cartoon.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, it works.
Believe me, Jill, and this is true, people go and watch the raw version of this, or what they're watching right now, but some people go back and back and back. One guy went and watched the cartoon version about 20 times.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and I've got to admit, you know, Kevin, one of the few things that makes me look good.
So,
I get the perfect face for radio, right? Hey, Steve. By the way, Steve, I use this quite a lot. When I was talking to Steve Lynch, he says to me one day, guys, Grant, could you imagine if your knees went in the opposite direction, if your legs bent differently, you know what I mean, than what they do now? He says, something for you to think about. Imagine how interesting chairs would be.
It makes me think of the movie Death Becomes Her.
Yeah,
Where turned around.
Or The Arrival, Charlie Sheen, that movie, that their legs bent the other way too.
Yeah, they looked like grasshopper kind of things, didn't they?
Yeah.
great minds.
How do you get your pants on? I don't know. That'd be
That'd be
weird.
weird.
You might need a hand.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah, buddy system going on, literally. Now, we opened up the show with Dreams Will Never Die. This is your debut track, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah.
Okay, tell us something about this, because believe me, 991 requests for it so far. It's making an impact. It's starting to gain momentum. It really, really is. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, let's see. I think I had this idea for a while. I was working on it, kind of fleshing it out, and I was sitting in the studio, and Jill was upstairs, and she heard the music playing, and she actually wrote the lyrics upstairs and came downstairs and said, "I got lyrics for that." And I said, "What?" The song you were just playing. And I was like, holy smokes, okay, well, let's give it a try and see if it fit. And that's kind of where it is. But the story behind it is, we'll let Jill talk about that one.
Yeah, well, everyone has that story of how your parents met. And my father was a published poet. And everyone has that story, so I wanted to create it into a song. So, how do I explain that? The beginning was how my mom met my dad, and then how my dad, and then the last part is kind of my life.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, it's a play on expressing your feelings and following. Read the lyrics, it's about like they're trying to follow each other, trying to read each other at the same time. They track, because he offers.
Sorry about the
It's kind of like
quality.
the same thing said about anything, right? Chase the rules and find both. So there's a double.
Yeah, her songs are very, I know, the act, and then of each actors for the listener.
Yeah.
You, sorry guys, your audio is dropping out every now and again. I'm getting every other word, but I'm getting the idea of what you're saying pretty much. But having said that, believe me, I really didn't want to know how my parents met. I got to be honest with you. I think Mum was a freak and Dad was something other weird than that too. Yeah, so yeah. Believe me, there's a whole story about my family you really don't want to know about. You really don't. My father, I tell you how weird my father was. He was an explosives expert, literally.
Oh, wow.
He used to blow things up for a living. Now, he did it for local coal mines, forestries, roading, stuff like that. But do you remember the movie Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
We
okay.
did a million.
That's my dad right there. That was my dad right there. The hat, the stogie cigar, everything about him, the whole attitude, except he wasn't Australian, he was a Kiwi, right?
And he had a knife?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had a bag knife. Yeah, he did. But as I said, he used to blow things up for a living. So could you imagine going fishing with this man?
We've
Yeah.
seen YouTube videos.
Depth charges.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we used to go out in this little tinny, right? Well, it was actually a wooden boat back in those days that we used to row out into the middle of this lake up in the top of the mountain somewhere. And I'm sitting there looking at the roof as we're driving up going, where's the fishing poles? And the old man's just smiling at me going, sorted, Get out in the middle of the lake, he's got the stick of dynamite. Chops it into three with his bag knife. I'm not kidding you, he had one, right? Puts a deadhead in each one. Now he's got a cigar, a little stogie cigar, and he's talking away. He likes this thing and he's talking away. Now he's very, with his hands, Your eyes are on that thing everywhere it goes. I'm not kidding. You are watching every movement his hand's making. Then he'll flick it off to the side. And it's like, to like him hunting for U-boats with British ships, dropping these bombs in the water. Literally. Boom. He looks at me and goes, okay, well, I caught the fish, you go and get them.
Yeah, he has the easy job.
Yeah,
And the fun one.
believe me. Guy Fawkes, if you ever celebrate Guy Fawkes or Independence Day or something like that, bit of a letdown, I got to be honest with you, because I did with the real stuff. You know what I mean? We'd go to work and blow mountains up, and then you go and watch kids playing with crackers. It was, yeah. Very boring, it was. Steve Romick is watching, and Daniel P is watching as well. Nice to have everybody on board this morning. It really, really is. And we're talking, coming out of the Okanagans to the band Moving Lines. Now, guys, I know how you got your name, but for everybody else, tell us a little bit about the history of Moving Lines. How did you come to the name?
Well, we moved a lot, for one. Like literally moving from place to place. We lived in BC for about 6 years, then moved back to Saskatchewan because we both had sick family. And then we moved back here because we missed it. And then that was on the mainland, so near Vancouver. And then we decided to come back to the Okanagan here. So we've moved quite a bit, and that's part of it. We also played a lot of shows where we hit the road and just kind of play the festivals and was this bar, that bar, wherever. We're just talking about the lines on the road and how we move, and it's also related to the lines that we see when we're recording. Those kinds of waveforms and stuff like that. It's kind of a double meaning, I guess, in that term. So it kind of stuck, I guess.
And the lines are always like we don't really fit into a box. We write paintings with sound, so we don't fit into one necessary category. So that lines. So and there's also the line.
Yeah, music.
Yeah, Jill, that's a wonderful saying. In fact, I was reading this in your bio, and believe me, I thought it was a standout saying, is we are painters of sound. I've never heard that term before, and, well, it fits. It really, really does. Now, at the same time, Kevin, you seem to be a little deep there. Every other thing as well, there's a double meaning to it.
Yeah. But that's, when I listen to music, and I'm a huge music fan, music first for me, then I'll start reading lyrics, and if they have some depth to them, I'll really kind of, take that in and say, hey, does this apply to me? And this is where it does apply to me. And then feel even more for the song because I can relate to it. So I just think that's a nice thing to pass off to people that may have a similar situation or whatever it is. Yeah, music is soul. So.
And it's also art, like a piece of art. You can look at it, don't you? It's what's going on in your life, how you actually see it. And same with music, it's how you actually feel it related to your personal.
I get that, I really do. Now, guys, I've got a fan question for you, coming from Angela down in our capital city in Wellington this morning. As a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, do you respond?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely we do. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. Our website as well, movinglines.ca. You can always scroll in off here. But yeah, you can find all of our social media just like Moving Lines. And if you type that in, you can find us line appearing.
Exactly. And we love to hear from your fans.
Yeah.
How does it impact your life? How does it make you feel? We really love to hear it. It's 110% of it. So when we hear from our fans, it means the world.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Jill. Believe me, 5,000 more Facebook fans on the way. Literally, you'll get nothing done now. Literally, not only will he have to cook, but now he's going to have to do the dishes afterwards, isn't he?
Or we get a dish. Just give it to the dog.
We can relate to that.
Yeah, don't worry. I get accused of licking the pattern off the plate all the time. No, it was the dog. It was the dog, honest.
Yeah. You get the rest. Yeah, you can do it.
Exactly. Now, guys, tell me a little bit about City Lights, because I'm really, really liking this track. And I've got to let you know it's not easy getting an interview here with us. literally, poor Barbara, she gets about 30 bands a day getting in touch with us. As you can gather, there's only a certain amount of time in a week that we can do these things, so we've got to be, get that red pen out and, so believe me, it's very selective. Barbara takes what she has left to production, and Barbara then again whittle it down. Then it goes to a board, any given board meeting, 8 or 12 people. Their only concern is our image. It's got to be good. So you've ticked all of those boxes. Then Barbara gives it to me in a sort of a USB kind of device, and I play it in my car. Now, 2 reasons I play it in my car. First reason is nobody around me, and literally nobody around me, can influence me on whether or not I want to do the interview. You know what I'm saying? Second reason is nobody wants to drive with me.
Well, we always crank our music in the car,
yeah.
so yeah.
Well, what I'm trying to get across is I've actually got, 3 of your songs, Dreams Will Never Die, City Lights, and Inside My Head, on permanent rotation in my car right now. So, as I said, as an engineer, and believe me, I've given you a few credentials, people I've worked with over the past, I said to you that it's not often that I find a band I like, that intrigues me. And your sound and your band literally does that for me. I'm really, really fascinated with this. At the same time, I judge a band by how many people want to request it. You know what I'm saying? 900 odd requests for Dreams Will Never Die. You're getting up there with City Lights. Now you're in 1500 territory, literally. 1491 and climbing right now. So tell me about the success of this song. How did you come to this?
For City Lights,
Yeah.
it's a story of like travel to, like the way we saw it was like a travel to a show, starting out with nothing though, like just a guitar in your car kind of situation, show up at a show, and when the lights hit that stage, you transform your life into this moment that just makes everything, feel so good, right? That's the reason we do this, is because when you step on that stage and you see people enjoying the music and dancing and having a great time, there's no better feeling than that. And that story kind of passes down, I guess. The old man on the corner thing is more of that older rock star that maybe had been there and done that, maybe failed, and then ended up on a street corner and just saying, go do it.
Yeah.
So
Or he's a little bit of wisdom on your shoulder.
Yeah.
That also that double meaning. Right?
Yeah, just to say go for it and keep going. Don't stop trying.
That's right. Or he's the guy that's out there giving you help and wisdom, and or a mentor,
Advice.
which we've had amazing mentors, and they're telling you, keep on going. Go for your dreams. Who cares if you get hurt? You're doing what you want. So that's so
I get it. I actually do get it. And believe me, I've listened to the words many, many times now. Excuse me. And absolutely love this track. I really do. So, joining us live is Moving Lines. Here's City Lights.
Awesome.
How you feeling, guys? You don't need a stiff drink or
great.
anything?
good.
Oh no,
We're
that's
so shocked that you're getting
Yeah.
so many requests.
wow, that's amazing.
You do realise we are a global station. We're in, I think it was 89 countries this morning.
Oh wow,
Amazing.
that is really cool.
When I started work this morning at 6:30, 6 o'clock, sorry, there was 75 countries online. I'll give you the stats when we finish this. No good giving them to you now because they're still going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll give you the stats. And believe me, we're over 200 cities around the world hooked in right now. So by comparison, you know, a couple of thousand requests isn't bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and we do everything from the beginning thought of a song all the way to marketing and managing. We do it all, and we just put our head down and work, and we don't realize where it's going. We just have fun. So
Well,
it's nice to hear that.
The thing is, Jill, and believe me, please keep doing what you're doing. For two reasons, if you want, alter meanings in this. First reason is everybody here loves your music, and I'm very, very proud to play your music to our audio audience. I don't call them fans, I call them an audio audience. The second reason is I need a job, all right? I need to keep my job. Please keep coming back. Okay? Yeah. So, please. Donnie, nice to have you on board again, my friend, and you're back. You are back again, and you came in at the end of the last one, so nice to have this one. Now, at the same time, guys, inside my head, you're way over 3,000 requests.
Holy.
What?
Well, of course. I mean, we're playing you in the breakfast show every morning. There's 5 times a week. Plus, we play you in selected shows as well. You're getting that extra exposure. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Literally. So
That's awesome.
people
Wow.
are connecting with this track. They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
My friend.
Yeah, that's great.
Lockdown.
Wow.
After we do this too, I want to talk to you about putting you into a magazine. A friend of mine has a magazine coming out of India.
Steve was on the cover.
And Steve Lynch was actually on the cover. We put him in that, literally, and he's a cover boy. Well,
Awesome.
same with Dave Evans too from
Yeah.
ACDC.
Yeah, what's
But we would love to put you in this magazine. It's about promoting you, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
we would love to be able to do a few more promotions with you that I'll discuss with you after we do this.
Steve, we've
Okay?
got to
Sure.
talk about
Yeah,
your
that's
books
great.
and
Thank
toys.
you.
Hi, Jones.
Galaxy.
Terry Van Cannon's joining us yet again. Nice to have you on board again, Terry, and still proudly wearing your shirt. Really, really am. And actually, this is a good time to say, now guys, as a fan, how do we get hold of your merch? Do you have merch for sale? Do you have a website? Do you have a merch store on there?
We're looking at getting some more merchandise right now. Right now, we only have like can coolers or koozies, what we call them here. So you just slip them over your pop can or beer can. That's all we have right now. We're working on shirts. We're trying to find somebody that can be able to distribute them as well. So hopefully that's coming soon.
Well, I tell you what, when you do decide that you've got a couple of spare ones, how would you like to send some down for us? Because believe me, and this works, it really does. In fact, I was talking to an artist just last week. I was interviewing a fellow Canadian, his name's Chris Andreas, and I was wearing his t-shirt. Now, the guy that was following that was actually doing a little research and finding out maybe what I might ask or how I might ask it and stuff like that. So he was watching that one. Then he saw the t-shirt, went online and found out a little bit more about Chris Andreas. So it does work. People do go and check it out. Today, B Muse, I'm actually wearing Terry Van Cannon's t-shirt and very proud to do so as well. So if you do have a couple of spare shirts that you feel like it could be a good subliminal message, and as I was saying to you, it's all about promoting moving lines. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Oh, for sure. We have lots of requests, so we better get on it.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I'll get Barbara to send you details and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because believe me, we would also love it if you would send us maybe a copy of your latest album when it's completed, and we would love to be able to do, send us, maybe about a half a dozen. We'll do some giveaways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be awesome.
Again, it's about promotions and promotion of moving lines. One other thing I wouldn't mind, how would you like to do me a couple of voice drops? You know,
Absolutely.
like, hi, we're moving lines, you can hear us on Galaxy 107 FM, something like that. Be original yourselves. It's easy for me to say, but be original yourselves, simply because otherwise everybody sounds the same.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
best for you guys to work something out, but we would love to be able to add you, even if it's Barbara and Grant on the breakfast show, something like that, so that it keeps people hearing your name. And if they hear your name, they get on the interwebby thing. Before you know it, you've sold another koozie.
Yeah.
Now,
That's right.
Now, at the moment, this COVID thing, and believe me, it's been a blight on every artist around the world. I've heard the same story all the time. But I presume, and I'm going to presume this, that seeing the COVID thing hit in, first of all, this was the reason why Timberwolves took a hiatus, per se. But have you been doing more writing, more recording during this time? And do you have shows coming up?
Yeah, so we have been, we started writing and recording and got, our first track out in April, which was Dreams Will Never Die, and we're continuing on that path. So this is more of a thing that we wanted to move to as well. I'm not saying, we're quitting the other band, that's a party band, right? We're looking to promote our music and write and record more and have fun with that. And yes, it's been tough. We have had some shows, and I think our next one, that'll be just a duo. We just do a duo thing, so it's acoustic. We do covers and our own originals there, but it'll be in December in Penticton, which is our main city that's closest to us here, just south of us, about 15 minutes away. So that's about the only thing we have lined up right now, except the Halloween show with Tom Wolves, and then that's it for the year so far.
Yeah, believe me.
It's given us a lot more time to write,
Yeah.
which is what we really want.
Exactly. Yeah. And, well, I know a few people in Penticton as well. Are you familiar with Ben Click?
Yeah,
Yes.
we know Ben.
Yeah, Ben's a good friend of mine. Beamer Wiggly.
Yes,
Yes.
we know Beamer,
You know, I got to be honest with you. I think we know almost every second person in Canada.
And the USA.
And the USA, yeah, and pretty much everywhere else.
That's right.
Canada does rock, it really does. Now, having said that, I don't see that this COVID virus thing's going to last forever and a day. I do see a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if we have to do the double jab passporty thing, take even some pills or anything like that. But I do see that sooner or later, countries are going to open up their borders again. Would you consider coming to Aotearoa down here, down under in New Zealand, and playing in front of New Zealand audiences?
Oh,
Absolutely. We always wanted to.
Yeah, after I seen Lord of the Rings, I was like, man, I gotta go to New Zealand. This is fantastic.
Well, okay, let me fill you in there and why I laugh so much. First and foremost, the original set of Hobbiton is only about an hour and a half away from where we are here in this office right now. So just down the road, we can take, well, actually the staff can take you there. I'm not allowed back in again. So, something
We don't want to know why.
well, something to do with a missing security golf cart.
Oh.
Always.
I do know what happened to it too. I got to be honest with you. Believe me, I really do. But having said that, you see, I went to school with Peter Jackson, the producer of the movie. I actually went to university with him. I can't call him Sir Peter.
No.
I didn't know. I can't do. Believe me, I've been on a drink with that man. I know what he's like. There's no way I can call him Sir Peter. Believe me, I really can't. But every time the security guards try to kick me out of the place, well, I just get on the phone and see. We'll see who's going to be. Yeah, who's going in and who isn't. So far, they've let me in. But if you do come here, and I've got to warn you guys, we're a little crazy here in New Zealand.
Well, we'll fit right in.
Fit right in.
Perfect. Absolutely. Are you up for a few challenges then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Oh, wouldn't have said that too quickly.
Oh, wait.
Okay, hold on. Let's first of all, do you know much about New Zealand?
No, I mean, somewhat, but not heck of a lot, I guess.
Okay, well, let me tell you, are you familiar with Australia?
I've never been there, but same kind of thing, I guess, and too much about it.
Yeah,
My
we.
friends have lived.
Oh, yeah, poor people. Literally, we call that the West Island, literally. We are made up of 3 islands here in New Zealand. Right down the very bottom, we have an island, the only island in New Zealand that's actually given a name. I've got to be honest with you, it's called Stewart Island. Good manly name, you know. Then whoever named New Zealand after that run out of imagination, called the next one South.
So high.
Yeah, beauty. Great. Sweet. And the one after that, well, what are we going to call that? We'll call it North. And that's where we are right now. Yeah, South and North.
It's better all I get.
Hey, look, I'm into renaming things. I've got to be honest with you, Jill. I really, really am into renaming things. Much like the moon, for instance. I want to give that another name as well. Literally. Well, think about it. I mean, scientists are finding new Goldilocks type planets every day and their moons. Now, they have the audacity to name these planets and moons. They don't even go there, knock on the doors and say, can we name it? No, they name it anyway, right? But
I know it probably already has me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You know, but, you know, we've called it X19.3, you know, but something, you know, like that. But the moon is still just the moon.
Yeah.
I reckon it needs a decent name. Now, believe me, for a number of years now, I've been trying to get enough people behind me because I reckon Celestial Body Brian is a good name.
It has potential.
Yeah, and look good on a check anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As if you're going to get a check from the moon. Yeah, exactly.
It might bounce or float away.
Now, as I said, we're a little crazy here in New Zealand. Have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
Here we go.
No, not.
You haven't. Okay. Yeah, you've heard of a caterpillar, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Have you ever done the white worm and the tequila bottom?
Well, I've had the tequila with the worm, but I never ate the worm.
You've never eaten the worm?
No.
It's mandatory. Last swallow's got to have the worm.
I
Yeah.
never got to the bottom of the bottle.
How many years have you had this bottle?
I don't know.
Long enough. 50 degrees.
Mm.
There was a worm.
Caterpillar, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, it's not a
The worm
caterpillar.
didn't know that he was looking for hotel reservation, not a reservation.
I like that, I do. Now, the hoo-hoo grub, it's like a double-decker bus to a mini, literally, if you're going to compare it to the caterpillar. And here in New Zealand, it is actually a delicacy. The indigenous folks of New Zealand, the Maori, do have it as that. And down the west coast of the South Island, there's the Wild Foods Festival. And believe me, you're familiar with festivals, you know, kids wandering around, candy floss, hot dogs on a stick. Yeah, not there. Literally, not there. You might see a kid wandering around with a deep fried locust or something like that. You know what I mean?
Chocolate. Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like that. Absolutely.
Getting
Yep.
back to the word.
What else did he try?
Well,
Crickets.
yeah, all sorts of things. I'll tell you, the most far out thing I ever tried down there was actually a deep fried Mars bar.
Oh yeah.
They were fun.
They do that here.
Yeah, absolute fun. Same with deep fried ice cream as well. Love that as well. But you never know what you might find in your ice cream. Yeah, you know how you have those lucky dip kind of, yeah, well, it is quite a surprise.
It kind of tastes like soy nuts.
Yeah, actually good.
Well, if you want to go with nuts, believe me, there's mountain oysters. Give you a plate of those.
Yeah, we got something similar to that here.
Yeah, we don't eat it.
Three oysters.
Now, have you ever heard of Queenstown?
Queenstown, yeah.
No, I don't mean Queensland. That's in Australia. Queensland, the place where men wear long dresses, high heels, drive past in women's dresses, call it drag racing. That's Australia.
Oh, okay.
Queenstown is a little boutique kind of town come city where all the A-listers from around the world actually go get away from the paparazzi, take your significant other places, you know what I mean? You never know who you might meet. Now, prior to the COVID virus thing, Kevin Costner was down there, Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, Shania Twain actually owns property down there, if you know what I mean. So you never know who you might bump into. But guys, you don't want to bump into me.
Why is that?
It always comes, doesn't it? Why don't you want to bump? I'll throw you off a bridge. Yeah, but nobody believes it. We have a thing down there called bungee jumping.
Oh yeah, get that here.
And the guy who introduced it to New Zealand, AJ Hackett, is actually a very close friend of mine. So believe me, you're not Australian, we'll attach the bungee. Hell of a thought.
Is that what you call it?
Hell of a, as you might be able to tell, we love to give the Australians a bit of stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, well, we're not picking on Canadians, so this is how you do it, guys. This is how you give somebody stick. You know what I mean? Believe me, if you go to Australia, they don't even know how to spell beer. There's a can there with 4 X's on it. True story. Went to a pub, says, can I have a beer? Barman gives me a can, it's got 4 X's. I went, can't you spell? He goes, nah.
Like just after so many beers, you can't read.
Yeah, you can't read anyway.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly. Even taxi doesn't come out right, does it?
Which beer do you want? You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 4 of those. Fair enough. While we're down in Queenstown, literally you love this, the Shotover River down there, we'll take you for a ride on the Shotover jets. Now these are huge go-fast boats that they turn inside out, upside down, wall to wall, literally of mountain right there. And they hit these things basically about 100 miles an hour and turn them all around all over the place. They do it so well that literally you won't spill your beer.
that's alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to spill your beer. Besides, one guy says, why won't you spill your beer? We got lids. We're sociably acceptable. We put lids on. Hell of an idea.
Sippy cups.
Yeah.
Spill proof. There you go.
Exactly. Now, one guy asked me, do you guys get called Kiwis? Well, I can answer that straight away. Yes, we are Kiwis, but we're not named after the fruit, like he thought.
Oh, the hairy fruit.
The kiwi fruit, yeah, literally. But we are in the region right here where we do produce a lot of kiwi fruit. In fact, we're one of the primary regions that produces it in New Zealand, aren't we? Right here. By the way, Philip Rudd from ACDC just lives up the road as well. So we'll introduce you when you come over here, if you know what I
We'll
mean.
do some recording.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go and throw some kiwi fruit at him or something. Go to
Like a
his...
drive-by fooding.
The kiwi is actually our national bird. It's a flightless bird, and but we have our own airline, so believe me, kiwis can fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now they can.
Now they can. We really can. By the way,
Honestly,
um,
kids can fly.
Yeah.
do you guys have McDonald's over there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's everywhere.
Do you have the big Canadian breakfast?
Don't really go to McDonald's. Don't.
We just call it breakfast.
Okay. Well, over here in New Zealand, we actually have the big Kiwi breakfast. You know what I mean? And the other day, this is a true story too. The other day I was actually at McDonald's in one of the local cities just down the road, and there was two Canadians putting their order in, and the young lady says, "Would you like a Kiwi breakfast?" And the first one got all irate, literally got upset. "You can't do that to the Kiwi, it's a protected bird, blah, 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 blah." Right? The second guy sitting there smiling goes, "Have a little one." I thought that's very, very apt for a Canadian. Literally. Listen, we are being told that we've got to move on a little bit, my friends. So I want to talk about. I want to talk about inside my head. Now, believe me, if you're anywhere near familiar with what's inside my head, you will never want to talk about it ever again. So I want to talk about what's inside your guys' heads. Tell me about this track.
So yeah, this one wrote on New Year's Eve this past year here, and because we didn't have a show to play, so we just thought, well, let's write a song. And Jill said, "Well, what are we going to write about?" I said, "Well, whatever's in your head. I don't know, let's just get it out." And she's like, "Well, that's, I guess, what are we going to call it?" I was like, "Okay, inside my head, sure. Let's call it that for now and see where it goes, right?" And we wrote the whole song that night. And the next day we recorded all the guitar tracks and got some stuff going. And it's kind of a story, I guess, about procrastination, how people put things off and never get to that point where they say they're going to do something, and then it just kind of drags on and on and on. Thus, the lyrics are kind of saying what's inside, or it's in my inside my head, and then outside my bed is the other line. And those are the two places that you dream that you could do something, is in your bed and inside your head. So there's kind of like one of those things where people wake up and they don't go do what they want to do, what they dreamt about the night before. They should just go do it. They really should. Exactly. Yeah, chase them down.
You know, Kevin, I am a big fan of that. I really, really am. But I know you, and everything so far has had a multiple. So, on the other hand,
it's true though. That's I felt like that before too. Everybody, we all have a moment where we procrastinate something, be it whatever. We get something done in the yard, or should we do this, or what if I change careers? I've done that several times. I don't regret anything that I've ever done. It's kind of do it, right? And I think it happened.
That's true, Kevin. It really, really is. And I'm so glad it's not a song about the stashing the skull on your desk behind you.
Oh, that's
It's
That's what's inside of you.
if you want to pick my brain.
There you go. Now, I got to let you know, so far, 3,709 requests and climbing. And believe me, I can't get through a breakfast show without playing Inside My Head. Here is the famous Moving Lines Inside My Head. Believe me, bro, it is climbing like crazy, this track.
Wow, that's awesome.
What's really weird is that we look on Spotify and there isn't a lot of plays, so we just think maybe there's no interest. So
yeah, but
we
those
don't
are
really
the
see it.
right? So, yeah.
Well,
Really,
I'm on the front line, literally. Poor Sarah reception every day. You see, this is how we formulate our breakfast show, is that the day before, Sarah collates all of the requests for each and every band that comes in, right? That goes through to production. Production kind of works it out, X amount per song, and then mashes it together, and then comes to me and says, this is what the breakfast show is shaping up to be like. And every morning I've been seeing moving lines in there, if not once, twice. And sometimes,
thank you so much.
Sometimes all three times I've had to play, and I love doing this, I do. Dreams, I've played City Lights, and then at the end of the day I'll wind it up with Inside My Head. And
Awesome.
believe me, people are out there listening. They really are.
Yeah.
And as I said,
Awesome.
I'll give you the stats when we finish this. You will be amazed. You really will. How we go for the cities?
You're in shock.
I'm in shock.
82 countries.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, we write everything and put 110% in because we love it. We love music and we love writing. And we have like so many more songs to come. And we're also working on a collaboration with another artist.
That comes out next week, next Friday. So we'll send that track to you if we haven't already.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Concrete Jungle.
Very
That
cool.
one was not produced here. That one was produced at the other arts with, mixing, and I did master. And then let do all the stuff. Else. Take a different take on it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to hearing it. I really am. One question, guys, and I ask everybody this. Are you guys vegans by any chance?
Yes and no, but I don't eat a lot. But,
Flexitarian.
yeah, I mean, we got a turkey, cooking just a turkey breast. That's it.
Okay, so you're part-time.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I guess a cheat meal.
If you crave it, you have it, but you keep it out. Cholesterol down, we feel better.
okay. Have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
Yeah, we've tried like burgers, awful sausage or whatever it's called, and the company Beyond. Yeah, they had sausage too. We tried that one. It was good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it was alright.
Nice. Just somebody was asking me if I've ever tried some, and I went, no, I haven't. But always up for something different. So
So some of them are really good. The Impossible Burger, it's good.
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I like.
Guys, I'm going to have to cut in here because we're going to have to wrap this up. But don't go anywhere just yet because
Okay.
we're going to do some crazy photos after this. Okay?
Sure.
Galaxy FM.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 22 minutes after 12 o'clock. Yes, I know we've gone over a little bit. 25 degrees. I'm going to take that. I really am. I win today. Not often that I beat Barbara, but today I'm going to get one in. It is Monday, October the 11th, start of a new working week. And, well, that wraps it up for us for another day. I've got to thank Moving Lines coming out of the Okinagans for joining us. And, guys, will you come back again? Will you release new stuff with us? Can we do this again?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah, we have some collaboration projects coming up. So maybe we could get them to come on an interview with us.
Yeah.
And we have way more music coming up.
Awesome. And as I was saying to you early on, if you put together an album or anything like that, pass us a dozen copies, literally. Let's do competitions. Let's keep Moving Lines moving here at Galaxy, because the more times they hear your name, the more people go and find out who you are. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So it's about promoting you guys, and we would love to be able to get behind you as much as possible. Now, are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist page on Facebook?
Yes. Yeah, we're on there. Yeah.
Use it. It doesn't matter if you're going out for a concert, making a new logo, or even the opening of a shoebox. Use it. The more times people hear and see and, participate in what you're doing, the more times they get to know who you are and want to know more about you. So please, and you never know, everybody goes and has a look there. You could be a promoter, could be a venue, anything could be in there. Even a couple of labels that I know are frequent in there quite a bit. So go and have a look at that. Believe me, it would be fun to be able to promote you free of charge. And I'm going to talk to you about this magazine very shortly. But in the meantime, Yeah, let's go back to the other studio, Studio B, and here's the 1910 Fruit
Bye,
Gum
Mark.
Company.
Goodbye.
Way back in 1969.
Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
Indian
Bye,
giver.
Mark.
You're right.